Hi all and welcome back to my Let's Play of Morrowind. Where are we, you ask? Well, we're in the Zainab camp. It wasn't far away from Telvos, which is where we left off, so I thought I'd just trek over here on the downtime between episodes. So I'm guessing this is going to be the tribe here, or the place we need to be, because it has the same layout. Just need to do screenshot things, because that's pretty. But yeah, the leader one in the Ursulaku camp's the same as this. I'm not getting my... There we go, there's my menus. Asher Khans. Let's go speak to the Asher Khan. That feels like a good start. I like your hair.
Is there something I...
So you are Marabou, the Outlander who claims to fulfill the Nerevarine prophecies. You are welcome to our hospitality, Outlander, but you must tell us, how can an Outlander be the Nerevarine? We have heard the rumours. We know you to be the Outlander who claims to fulfill the Nerevarine prophecies. But how could an Outlander be the Nerevarine? You must admit that that just sounds silly. You seem pleasant enough and strong and healthy for an Outlander, but excuse me if I'm not disposed to take your demands seriously. We know the prophecies, wise women, voices and verses. Trade goods wanted. Trade goods we have plenty. What does the Outlander think we are? Savages? Because we do not have the things to settle people have, big buildings, heavy furniture. We have no use for this trash, and do we need to dress ourselves in foolish clothing and stand out with fancy weapons to feel like men? Ha! But of course you do not know the Ashlanders. It is not your fault, Outlander. I was just interested if that was like a quest chain. But I suppose I can't really say that. Arrange a meeting. Oh, right. Oh god, this is a Mage's Guild thing. Remember that. Let's read it. Will this Argonian make the Telvanni deal with us fairly? Will this Argonian make the Empire give us better prices so that we can feed our people? Will this Argonian give us a place on the council? Will this Argonian kill the blighted creatures and the outlaws that plague our village? Then we have no time for this Argonian. I guess that's a no from you guys, then? I wonder if it is the exact same layout. We want the wise woman. It is. Hello. So you will talk to me about trade goods wanted, but I want to talk to you about Nerevar. In ancient days, the Deep Elves and a great host of outlanders from the west came stealing the land of the Dunmer. In that time, Nerevar was the great Khan and war leader of the house people, but he honoured the ancient spirits and the tribal law, and became as one of us. So when Nerevar pledged upon his great ring of the ancestors, one clan under moon and star, to honour the ways of the spirits and rights of the land, all the tribes joined the house people fighting a great battle at Red Mountain. There are many Dunmer tribesmen, yeah, we know this. But I am. We heard the rumours. Some Outlander says he is the Nerevarine, so you are that Outlander. What do you say to that? Tell my story and show my proofs. Is that true? That is a very interesting ring. It is part of the story of Nerevar. The ring, moon and star, that none may wear it but Nerevar himself. You should talk to Asher Khan Kaushad. The Asher Khan is very curious about this Outlander who claims to be the Nerevarine. He's a very clever Asher Khan. Ashkhan. I've been adding an extra A there, haven't I? And a very great man. He's not a modest man. He's very proud and conscious of his rights and honours. It is fortunate for our tribe that he heeds the counsel of his modest and loyal wise woman. And back to the Asher Khan. I wonder if we have to talk to them in order. That might be it. Hello. I'm back. Never in prophecies. We read all this. Is there a way I'm meant to be doing this? News? Do you have any interesting news? Zainab camp. Red Mountain. Come on, there must be something in here. Something that's going to get us what we want. Perhaps we need to, butter him up or something. Ah, of course. Same as everyone else. There we go. This is suitable. Everyone in this world is bribable. In fact, it is required. Who can tell? Nerevarine. We've heard the rumours. We know you to be the Outlander, but how could you do it? Ho ho, excuse me, do not think me rude, but seriously, do you believe this story yourself? I mean no offence, but you must admit you are an Outlander and completely ignorant of our ways. How could you ever be our war leader? What sensible Ashkan would ever choose you to lead the tribes? Ho ho ho. It's a good laugh, ho ho. Escalcho to set me a task. Very well, a vampire named Calaverio, very nice name, has taken refuge in nearby Nurano ancestral tomb. Nurano is a family from somewhere, isn't it? It's one of the great house families. If you are worthy as you say you are, it should be a small matter for you to dispose of this vampire. There, you have your task. Now maybe you'll leave me in peace for a bit. Mark it on my map, please. Ask about Calvaria. I wonder if we can't become a vampire now because we've got the immunity. Oh, I've asked where it is and he's not actually marked it on my map. Damn it. Where are we at? Nurano is to the north. Go west until you reach the mountains and turn north and follow the mountains, keeping them on your left. When you pass the ruins of Nishleft, keep your eyes to the east. Okay, I think we can do this. So, it's been like a week since I recorded last. Yes, I do tend to get these done in batches. I don't think that's abnormal for these things. I think I spoke in the last video I did about being interested in the YouTube space of... oh, actually, I don't want to use this. I want to use my bow. Make sure I'm leveling up my lower skills. YouTube space of RuneScape of all things. And I thought, yeah, hell, why not? Let's download that and play some of that. And it's hooked into me massively. I think I'm going to do a video on it. It's like, it's weirdly really interesting to me because, like, I mean, you can pick potentially, you know, a handful of other games that do very similar things to that game, but with better graphics, yet people seem to be flocking to it. And I can't help but to ask the question why. You know, why people choose that game. Is it purely just nostalgia? Are people coming back to it because they played it a lot when they were younger? Oh god. That genuinely made me jump a little bit. So yeah, I've ended up playing quite a bit of it, and I think the other big aspect of it, why it's worked really well in my life, is one, I can do it whilst I'm editing videos. Because it's a real AFK game, you know, you don't have to be actively engaging with it at all seconds. But two, it's on phone, which is absolutely perfect for just like having on a second screen and chilling with. But it is really grindy. Yeah, I'm struggling to come to terms with it because I think those sort of really grindy games I've discounted in the past as just being like an elaborate Skinner box that's not worth engaging with. You know, it's trying to manipulate me too much. But I really think there is something there with it. Yeah, in all honesty, if I could, I would be having it on a second screen right now. That's been like the way I've been using it. I've been just having it on my phone whilst doing other things and just ticking up some levels and some stuff. And like, I've been caught by a Skinner box, haven't I? Here we go, at the Ancestral Tomb. I wonder what taking out a vampire in this game is going to be like, because, like, some games, like, think of vampires as being incredibly difficult. Some think of them as, you know, oh, they've got to do a level up first, apparently. We'll get back to my vampire spiel. Yeah, different games think of different vampires differently. Yeah, and something that I think has been common through Elder Scrolls, the main thing, and it probably comes as no surprise from the beginning of this game, the main thing that they seem to do in Danders? No, Danders. They seem to do is disease. you know, you can actually become a vampire yourself in this game. Or I don't actually know. I say that as an assumption because that's the way you could play the older games. It comes at like some benefits to you and some costs. I know in Oblivion you have to make sure you consume blood, so like knowing where some sleeping enemies are is like actually really a big benefit to you. Not enemies necessarily, but the best way to do it actually is there's a couple of rough sleepers, which is, now I think of it, like reading a guide and it just suggesting that you do that offhand is quite interesting in its own way. You know, this is the best way to feed yourself, is to prey on people who are already in a bad situation. But yeah, you get some like strength powers and you can't go out in daylight, and there's different stages of vampire, and if you don't feed you become more vampire. And if you do feed you become less vampire. Note from, what was it, Baccarat? You boys better clear out, our position was given away and we were raided by that bastard Goris. He sent a small band of the dead to Dralis and wiped out all but Leuven. He was able to make it back here to Nellis to warn us. We are clearing out and heading for a new location. I suggest you and your boys get out of here as soon as possible. We have a snitch in our organisation. You let me find out who it is and I'll feed their flesh to the crabs. It seems as though he knows all of our raiding routes. It's just a matter of time before Goris sends those damned and dead your way. I will never turn those goods over to that necro. What's fair is fair and he had to pay up. You know where I'm coming from. I'm sending Ursine to deliver this message to you. She will deliver a key so you can gain entry into the rendezvous point. See you soon and good luck, brother. Baccarat. Baccarat, isn't that a musician? Right, I do want to unlock this. Yeah, it's worthless. I didn't even see that was trapped. Oh, hello. I like the way he just runs out with his hands out. Do we catch anything from that? No, just poison. That was anticlimactic to say the least. Just sort of stood there waiting for us. To be honest, the poison from the door might actually kill us quicker than he did. Might actually do more damage. What we got here? Oh, I see you, trap. You ain't getting me again. He says that slowly dying. Have I put a lockpick on instead of a probe? I have. I might have to actually genuinely start healing from this poison soon. Have I got an antidote on me? Nope. I don't think I have a spell that does that. In fact, my only heal's like this one, which is really bad. So I should start casting it now. Because if I'm going against the ticking poison, it's got a lot of work to do. You see it just going up very slightly. And this poison is... Okay, we're good, we're good. Okay, we're in the clear. All is okay. Yeah, so playing RuneScape has actually got me on to a whole games as jobs sort of thing. So you sort of Euro Truck Sims and your Elite Dangerouses, and just got Satisfactory as well. And like, I didn't think of that. Like, I thought RuneScape, that's just a grinding game. But actually, I think the systems that are there with the dealing with the other players and the Grand Exchange and being able to trade on markets makes it much more as a game as a job sort of style game. And so I think I am going to end up doing a series on it, but I'm just thinking about it at the moment and playing a few of the different sort of iterations of that, and also still just sessioning RuneScape. God, that sentence feels dirty in my mouth for some reason. I think I have a weird like connection to it in my brain that I probably need to get rid of that judgmentalness. Hello. Calvario. Dead. Well then, perhaps I was mistaken. Perhaps you should be the Nerevarine. Well, so you killed the vampire, Calvario? Well, I will be happy to acknowledge you as Zainab Nerevarine, but it is customary for one seeking an honour from Ashkan to offer Ashkan a generous gift as a mark of respect. Because you are an outlander and do not know our customs, I will do you the great favour of naming the gift I wish to receive. A high-born Talvani bride. A pretty one, plump with big hips to bring me many sons. Oh god. Where will you find a highborn Talvani bride? That is simple. You should visit highborn Talvani lords and inform them that Ashkan Kaushad of the lordly Zainab would do them the honour of making their daughter his bride. Surely many Talvani lords would be honoured to receive such an offer. I don't think they would be, but, you know. I suppose actually I was getting like a bit creeped out about political marriages, but it is just enacting a very historical like thing. Marriages were, especially in higher class groups and the ruling classes anyway, were very important as diplomatic tools and as for gain, you know. It's the reason it's a mechanic in a lot of strategy games is choosing who you marry good. Consider carefully the many daughters offered and choose for me the finest. Take counsel with my wise woman, Zabamat. She knows my mind well in such matters. Okay. It does kind of feel like it's not my gift to give, though, mate. Gotta be honest. I wonder if there's any way we can weasel our way out of this. Right, little council, maybe. Kaushad wants a Talvani bride, eh? Not highborn Talvani would wed. No highborn Talvani would wed an Ashlander. I guess that much. But I have a plan. Go to my friend, Seville Imani, slave mistress of the festival slave market in Talaroon, and tell her you need a pretty dumb slave to pose as a Talvani lady. Then Seville Iman will tell you what clothes to buy, and will dress her like a highborn Talvani. Then escort the pretty slave to Zainab camp and present to the Ashkan Kaushad as a highborn Talvani bride. He won't know the difference. Oh, lordy. So apparently we're on our way to Talaroon, which I think if we go to Voss, we can do boat things to get where we need to be. So let's head that way. It's somewhere we've been before, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. Let's wait till morning, just so we've got some light. I find this interesting, actually, because this quest is doing one of two things. I think there could potentially be some commentary on the Ashlanders and who the Ashlanders are meant to represent. And to be honest, the coding of it is not something I'm 100% clear on, because I'm British and we have a different historical... it's not even tradition, that's wrong, that's a really wrong way of saying it. Historical learning to do with sort of natives and nativist people, because it's just not taught. It's something you have to go out there and learn yourself, and I know bits and bobs, but nothing I'd feel comfortable saying that I'm any sort of expert on. And, you know, there is always holes in our knowledge that we should be improving and aiming to get better at. So I'm not sure if there is some coding there that I am missing, and it may be straightforward and in your face to other peoples, but to myself, I feel like I'm potentially missing something. So one, the game could be commented on that. If I was to be more generous, I could say that the game is commenting on, and I think it is something that the game's actually sort of said with how we get to become Hortator from all the great houses, but I don't know if that stands true with some of the other aspects of the game. And it depends probably on the generosity of the player, on the reading, to be honest. But you could say that the process of becoming Nerevarine and Hortator is riddled with bribing and backroom deals and doing whatever it must take, no matter the morality of it. And it's interesting, actually, one aspect of it is that is interesting is that it sort of it does all of that without ever saying it does it. it's all, you know, it's all on the sidelines. I think it's super easy just to be like, look what you've had to do to get here. Look. Have you seen what you've had to do? Isn't it bad? Isn't it disgusting? Oh my god, I can't believe you did that to get here. Whereas this game just sort of takes it as, well, yeah, of course you had to do that. It's almost a point on a quest line more than anything big or preachy around it. And I think that's why people quite enjoy this game, and there's a lot to it. But I do think that I have such a blind spot that I could just be doing an overgenerous read and giving too much to the game when it couldn't be. It couldn't be succeeding in that. You know, I have less faith as we go back in history with games doing things like this successfully. I don't know why I have more faith more recently. I think more people are going to call that stuff out, and it's going to become more known. And whether people take that or not, it is what it is. But games of this era, people have just like this weird historical blind spot for, just like, oh, that was a good game. It's got nothing of an issue to it. It's why I keep talking about coming back to doing the slave quests, because I have read a UESP article at some stage that says you can do something with that. And so I've sort of just been ignoring it up to this point, because hoping that we hit that quest and we can start making some decisions and work through that and actually see the story it has to offer. But until then, it's just like a piece of theming that you have to deal with quite constantly. And like coming back to deal with this right now is deeply uncomfortable. And as I say, the most sort of generous you can be about it is the game is saying, look what you've had to do to get here. And you hope the game isn't just making a comment on some native people or traditions that I don't have access to. And you hope that the game is doing it all in relatively good faith. When I say good faith, I don't even mean that. It's doing something interesting with it, you know. It's not just telling a story for the sake of it. I think it becomes harder to make a game with slavery as a direct topic these days, because like too many people will just take it at face value. It's a harder set of sort of things to process. You know, we're still actively processing it, and some people are actively ignoring it as a various cultures. So that's why I have less faith in it, because it's a historical artifact, this game, more so. Anyway, it's good to actually talk about some of the discomfort, because I have kind of just been ignoring it up to now. So let's go and do some disgusting things, guys. Oh, God. Welcome, Marabou, to the Festival Slave Market, the finest slaves in Vardenfell. I'm Seville Main. I know we have the slave for you. Are you looking for standard household slaves, Marabou, or are you looking for something special? Let's see what you say when we say household slaves. I mean, fuck this. It's weird because like I'm going through like, and it is good that games can do this, but I'm going through like an almost emotional side of this where it's just like I want to buy all these and release them, which is, you know, a good thing to do. But then what of this special slave we're going to buy? We buy like 10 slaves and go, you all go free, but I need you for something else. I mean, the utilitarian says buy them all and release them and make use of the other one, I suppose. Well, I wouldn't say make use of the other one, but yeah. Yeah. Esbakra. I want to see what happens. Apparently there's a pit here. Yeah, I read before we came to Alvaroon, because we had to come here for one of the Talvani things. Where is this person that we just bought? And I just kind of ignored it. See, this is even worse as well. I'm just going through and getting these. Imperials are hard workers. So there is like a... And it's something that I don't think fantasy has ever successfully disentangled, is its racist roots in creating races that have essential differences. And it's something that's never quite figured out. There was definitely things out there that usurp it, but I've not come across many. Good job we're rich. Hello. Yep. Are you in twin lamps? I didn't know if they really exist. It's said to help slaves like us escape. Until you arrived, I did not believe I would ever see Argonia again. I'm not talking to an Argonian here. There's like one that we can't talk to. See, twin lamps, and I think that is the quest line that you can go down with this. So I do find it, at least freeing those pointed me in the right direction to do things. Eee. Now I'm looking at their bracelets to see if they sell for anything. Something special. You need a slave to pose as a high-born Telvanni lady. Sweet Alma, that Zabamat and her cunning plans. I do have the slave you want, Vala Lever, a pretty Dummergirl, but first you must get an exquisite skirt, and an exquisite shoes to dress her in. Go get these clothes and bring them to me. Talmora, Alngun. Talk about something special. Where's Talmora again? Sadrith Mora. Talmora, it's all the way up there, but we can get a boat, can't we? Yeah, I hope I've processed it out loud fairly well, this sort of thing, because it's a tough subject to sort of give enough to, because it deserves it, and it's a tough subject to sort of be able to make sure that you're being clear, and plus it is first thing in the morning and I haven't had a cup of tea yet, which it's not exactly a great difficulty, but still. But yeah, it's something always worth considering and thinking about, clearly. Yeah, I don't think you can do the generous read, actually. And the weird thing is, it's almost like it was easier for the game to point out, oh look, becoming Hortator, you had to bribe all these people to get here, and look, these people don't care about any of this position, they just care about the money to get here. But then to have the coded native, and I'm not even sure what natives exactly it would be fully coded to, but the coded natives people say, well, actually what I want is a slave, and it shows both them in a bad light and it shows everything else in a bad light. I have to say this quest is grim. I do have to say a weird effect of all this is that I think with games we allow ourselves to shut our minds down quite frequently, or I do, I know that. You sort of, as you're playing, you want to be taken away to a different space. I've just in this very video talked about RuneScape. The enjoyable thing about RuneScape is the brain deadening effect to some degree. You still have agency, but you are a lot of the time in that sort of meditative space. And I think because an aspect that appeals to myself anyway of games is almost, I can't find this person for love nor money, is ticking things off a to-do list. You sort of allow yourself to hit that space, and these quests, if you aren't critical of them and aren't aware, in this one you should be aware, but they can sneak under. You can just feel like you're ticking off a list of a to-do list. Oh, I've got to go and get this slave woman done. I've got to go and dress her up fancy, done. And that's when you should really be engaging with it and trying to figure out, what's going on. You've got something special, isn't it? That's what I've got to talk to you about. Is that right? Or do I just barter with you? Where's the exquisite stuff? So common, expensive. So many games have stuff hidden that I think, and this isn't even particularly hidden, but have stuff underneath that until you start peeling it apart, I think you can miss out on some stuff, definitely. Was it the 3 items? I imagine shoes as well, probably. Shirt, skirt, shoes. I've got down on my strength. How's come? Just want to make sure I'm not like slowly becoming a vampire or something. Doesn't appear so. I'll have to go and get some potions to restore that at some stage. Right, as we head back to finish off this quest, I'm going to end the video here. Comment if you have any thoughts on this. I'm genuinely interested to hear what people have to say on these sort of subjects. I know it's a common theme actually through a lot of Elder Scrolls and Bethesda games. You know, there is heavy sort of slave things in Fallout 3, Fallout 4. I don't believe there is in Oblivion and Skyrim actually, but it continues in the Fallout series, so I wonder. But yeah, comment if you have anything to say. I'm genuinely interested to read it, and I will respond to stuff when I can. Drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want more from me. We are doing Morrowind videos every day, pretty much every day, apart from Friday. On Friday we do a Fallout video, and occasionally, as and when I'm able to, I will be releasing a video discussing another game. So a bit more in-depth, things like that. That whole aspect of the channel is changing over time, but it should be maybe self-explanatory depending on when you come across this video. Righty-ho. See you in a bit.